Welcome to Toast and Coffee. I'm Jennifer, your host. This is our first issue, and we hope you really enjoy it. We put together a variety of interesting segments, including this surprising look at the video industry.
What are you doing here? I have no idea who you people are.
Toast and Coffee is some kind of a video thing, isn't it?
I see Toast and Coffee right now. Toast and Coffee.
Well, are you ready? By the way, if you have any questions or comments, please give us a call.
Hi, I'm Keith Next.
Quiet.
All right. I'm Keith Watts, president of Watts Communications, and we're here at Watts Communications in the Edit Suite A with James Flynn, who is off to my right, and Andy. What is your last name, Andy?
Cut.
Oh, I gotta find out what his last name is.
Once again, it's pronounced freaking.
But Jim handles all the graphics and animation, and he's in hysterics constantly.
There's too many spelling errors.
And Andy does all our kiosk and multimedia presentation programming. So that's pretty much what we do here.
We got a hockey game down in the boardroom, spelled B-O-R-E-D.
We produce promotionals, industrials,
Educational.
a lot of education, television commercials, television shows, and everything we do pretty much we shoot, write, direct, edit, produce. We create all the 3D animation here, all done on the Amiga toaster and other programs, Pixel 3D, Deluxe Paint 3, all those fun programs I'm sure all the animators know out there, which I'm not familiar with because I do editing here. I don't do animation.
We don't let him.
They don't let me. In fact, Jim has got an animation room. He cuts me out of it, doesn't let me in. I don't let him out. It's kind of a nice relationship we have. In fact, this is the first time he's ever been in this room.
It's amazing because I built it.
But behind me, what we use the Amiga in this suite for is character generation. When Jim brings over a graphic still, we insert that. We use it for wipes and all the DVE effects. The system that was built here is set up so that we have all our machines over here that control video, and then in front is the controls table, the control table, and then audio over here to my right. So what we have here is the toaster, which is used here with the mouse, and we have a screen here because using the RGB monitor, it just is too large to fit in, and it's not really required, so we just process it down to black and white, and use our program as double up the monitor here for our preview for color. So we can see when we're doing the character generation, we have a program or a preview monitor to see for color. Above that, we have it's a Pictoris EDE, so we can do effects such as compression, flips, tumbles, things like that are clean, a nice clean, without any digitization, which we need occasionally if you box something up in the corner that the Amiga can't do because it's just not a clean enough DVE effect for it. And then over here,
Hi, Jim. Let's see, let's grab another issue of Toaster User here. We have these everywhere. This is the mag, people. Video Toaster User. Don't leave home without it. Jim, thank you. You're great. For Video Toaster users, hardline graphics people, it's Video Toaster User. If you don't have a subscription, get one. Basically, inside of my office is the main system that we use for doing our animations, which is an Amiga 3000 with a progressive peripherals old 40 board, 32 megs of RAM on board, and hard drives and all other good stuff. BCD's 5000 animation controller, and then we're able to ship video over to either a 3/4 inch SP or a Betacam SP from this room to record to. And if you don't have art department, buy it. This is the new art department. We've beta tested for several different companies, just to give you a quick insight. Axiom Software, which is Pixel 3D. We're working with Scott Deedy right now on Pixel 3D Pro, which is going to be released in about 2 months. We'll give you a glimpse at one of the screens if you'd like to take a look at it. We also do work with Perry over at ASDG Corporation. Perry, hi. Perry and I went to lunch about a week and a half ago and discussed some things on what he's got going. One of them is an outstanding two-dimensional metamorph that just really, I've never seen anything like it. Right now you're looking at part of this thing that we're doing for WLUC TV6 in Marquette, Michigan. That's one of the, just a frame grab from it. We've done several different graphics for different things, for different people. We've got a new ad campaign coming out for Watts Video, and this is one of the images from it. That's Alan Hastings' Apache helicopter, only we added all the correct textures, and all the objects are now separated so that they can be individually shot off and everything else. And as you notice, we've got the water rippling underneath the blades to give it more realism. It's part of an animation. You'll see it on our next demo reel. One of the big essentials in using Lightwave is what Keith and I refer to as nonlinear thinking, which means you've got to think in a 3D environment, and you've got to be able to comprehend modeling and be able to use the software available out there for modeling.
So, Andy.
Top 10 reasons.
So, top 10.
Yeah. Top 10 reasons to use a toaster. Here they are. Number 10. It's the only thing on the market.
Number 9.
Number 9. It's not a Mac. Number 8. It's not an IBM.
Tips and Techniques is a regular segment of Toast and Coffee. Each issue we bring you new ideas for improving your effectiveness with the video toaster. This month, John Gross, a freelance writer for Avid Magazine and Video Toaster User, will demonstrate a technique using Toaster Paint and CG.
Hi, I'm John Gross, and today I'm going to show you how to use the Toaster CG and Toaster Paint in combination with each other. What we'll do is we'll load up a frame store, create a frame store in Toaster Paint, bring it into the CG, add text to it, and then I'll show you how to save it out. So the first thing we need to do, of course, is to go into Toaster Paint. And now we can either create our own frame store, which I'm going to do, or you can go through and just grab something off of camera or off of a picture if you want to scan it in, or off of videotape, something like that. Just freeze it and save that as a frame store. But I'm going to go and create a background really quick. We're going to go into range mode, and I'm going to use a light gray to a dark gray range. And I'm going to set it up so my light gray is up at the top of the screen and the dark gray is at the bottom. And by hitting the W key, it's automatically going to do it from top to bottom for the whole screen. W stands for whole screen. So we'll take a little bit of time here to draw this out. Shouldn't be much longer here. And what we'll end up here when we're done is a nice gradation of light gray to dark gray running from top to bottom. Okay. So once I have that the way I want, what I'm going to do is add a couple of 3D looking boxes to place text in. And I think I'm going to also use range mode for those. Use a light blue to a dark blue spread. And we'll just select the box tool. And I'm going to go up and I'm going to have to kind of guess here where I want these. And I'm going to say, let's see, we'll go about right like that. I'm just going to render it out to see, okay, that looks good to me. And then what I'm going to do is reverse the range. Oh, let's undo that. I want to use the single point hotspot up in that corner, so I'll redo that. That will give me my light blue up in the upper left-hand corner. And then I'm going to move the hotspot down to the lower right and draw a square just slightly inside of this one. And this is going to give me a frame when I'm all done. Okay, we'll render that out, and you can see it gives us a nice, clean, three-dimensional looking frame. I'm going to do the same thing down on the bottom, kind of bring in a box from the other side. And we'll render that out. Okay, I like the placement of that. Okay, then I'll draw a square on the inside of it, move the hotspot to the lower right-hand corner, draw that out. And that gives me my frame for the lower square, so we'll render that out and see how that looks. What I have now is two squares, one in the top, one in the bottom, and that's the frame I want to use. I want to put text in those. So what I'm going to do is now, the secret is to go back to the switcher without quitting out of Toaster Paint. If you hit quit, it will unload the image from memory, but if you go to switcher, it leaves Paint in memory and leaves that image loaded. So once we're back to the switcher, Paint is still loaded because we see it's not ghosted. Then we go into the CG. And it takes a little bit to load up the CG. It's looking for all the fonts that are on the hard drive. I'll click on it again to get into it. And the thing we need to do here is create a frame store page. So I'm just going to create a new page. F4 is my frame store, so I'll click on that. And what I need to do is I'm going to go in and just type some text out. We'll justify it onto the, oops, let's get out of that. We'll justify it onto the right-hand side. I'm just going to type my name. Pick a nice big font. Okay, that one will work. And I also need to kern this a little bit, so holding down the alternate key, I can kern these fonts together. Okay, that looks good enough. I'm going to type that down here, and then on this line, we'll justify it to the right-hand side, and we'll type out some more text. Whoops. Okay, if I could spell right, we could get this. Kern these together. And I'm going to move the whole line over a bit. And I'm just kind of guessing right now as to where these need to go. Now, the other thing I need to do is I need to tell it to use the Paint background. Okay, and since we're in a frame store page, what I need to do to change the background colors is hit Alternate and F3 at the same time. Now, in here, I have the ability to use either a solid color background, a dithered background, or a paint background. And F2 gives me the different choices. Okay, so I'm going to cycle through F2 until it looks like a paintbrush. That's telling me to use a Toaster Paint background. Hitting the return key will bring us back. And then I can just hit F9 to render it out. And this will render it out to our preview monitor. Okay, and once we look at it, we can take it to program. You'll see here that the images aren't spaced right. So what I need to do is I need to hold the alternate key down and hit Help. That will automatically put me into two-monitor mode, which will put the toaster interface over our preview monitor. And what this does for us is it lets us see that we're actually looking at, the image while we're moving the text, and we can see where it was and where we're going to. So I'm just going to move it into place by seeing what I'm doing. Okay, and once we have it moved right, we just render it out again. And F10, we can take it to program, and there you go. Okay. Now what we need to do here is we need to save this frame. Now we can either return back to the switcher and save it that way because we've just rendered it and it's in one of the buffers, or if we hold the alternate and the F9 key, that will save a frame store right from the CG. Now there's a couple of tricks about saving a frame store from here. This is what's known as a buffered page when you do this. And what that does is you can still load it from the CG when you're back to the switcher, but what it does is it enables you to load it quickly. A buffered page will load in about 2 to 3 seconds, as opposed to a normal frame store page which takes about 7 to 10 seconds. So buffered pages, and you can buffer either key pages or frame store pages in the CG, but buffered pages will load quickly. And when you render them out and you buffer them, you'll notice there's a little lightning bolt. That tells you that it's a buffered page. Lightning bolt appears next to the page number. So if we hit escape and go back to the CG, I'm going to go back into 3-monitor mode. What we have here is when we cycle through the CG now, you'll notice that the name of the page has a little lightning bolt next to it. That means it's a buffered page and it will load quickly. So if I load this now by double-clicking on it, you'll see that it takes about 2 to 3 seconds to load, just as fast as it takes to load a normal frame store. Now, the one key thing to remember about buffered pages is that they use the current project loaded as part of their name. So if you load up a project, you go in, create a CG page, and then save it out from the CG, making it a buffered page, and then you go back, you have to save that CG book by saving the project. You have to do that with the same named project that you already have loaded. If you change the name of the project, the switcher will not be able to find the buffered page. So you want to make sure to use the project that's already loaded and just save over that, and then you'll be able to find the buffered pages next time. I'm John Gross. Thank you for joining us this month for Toaster Tips. If you have any tricks or techniques of your own that you want to contribute or questions that you would like answered, go ahead and drop a line to the publication and I'll make sure to get those into the next version. Thanks and see you next time.
Oh, hi. Vern Jorgensen here. My computer work area is always a mess. If I can find the mouse at all, invariably it's underneath the stuff and it just, drives you nuts. But I found the neatest little deal. It's called the mouse control. You just hook the wire in like that and it holds it up in the air and you don't knock papers and coffee and everything else all over the floor. The neat thing is we can let you have one of these for only $14.95.
Hey Vern, we have a special for $12.95.
Oh, hey, great. That's better yet. Now if I could just come up with an easy way to clean off my desk. Amy?
Yeah?
Will you clean off my desk for me?
I don't think so, Vern.
Oh, well, I tried.
To order your mouse control, call 1-800-322-4545. That's 1-800-322-4545. Visa and MasterCard accepted.
Number 7, it's not a Silicon Graphics.
Oh.
Number 6, the Kiki wipes.
Yeah, number 6, the Kiki wipes.
That's one thing. I'm very tired of Kiki. I mean, if I see any more switching effects with her bod on it, I'm gonna. Hi, I'm Twig Webster. I work for a company called Serving Software Incorporated. Our headquarters is in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we're a software and service company providing software tools, products for the medical industry. Some of our products include Surgery Server, which is a surgery scheduling and management system. We have a variety of other software packages as well for durable medical equipment tracking, Omni Server, which is a centralized scheduling software package, and we connect through modem with our 700 hospital client base for support. What I do, my position is called video producer. I'm a one-person shop, pretty much turnkey. I do everything from schlepping the gear around to writing the scripts. And so what I do is I concept, powwow with different departments who might have different needs, and we come up with an approach to use for a video, and then I write the script, shoot them, and do the post-production. We decided to bring all of our production requirements in-house to save money and to have more control, because we knew we wanted to produce quite a bit of video, especially in the training and promotional areas. So to save money, we decided to develop a department. So we laid out a list of what we needed, which was camera package, we needed post-production equipment, and that's when we looked into the toaster. And I think a video is only as good as its concept, and the toaster was the most cost-effective way for us to put down on tape the way we visualize things in a broadcast quality way without spending a fortune. So that's why we invested in the toaster. I guess I won't be getting any more software from NewTek, huh? Here's my one attempt at
in the world of scheduling,
animation.
Choices make a world of difference. Surgery Server, giving you powerful choices. Beginnings in 1984, Serving Software began distinguishing itself as a leader in surgery scheduling and management systems.
I was just playing with animation on that one. In our industry, there's so much sterile stuff, you know, and any way to get people involved intimately with a software product, which is kind of hard to conceive anyway, because there's, you know, you can't show them a picture of circuitry and computers. You know, this is just the hardware. The software is the heart of a system. So I try to find a way to connect nurses and actual healthcare professionals with the stuff they're dealing with every day. So I was just playing with animation, and I thought a nice warm ball, something like they would take out of a body, you know, and send up to a lab, might be an interesting way to show, you know, what our software gets into is the heart of scheduling and helping everybody do their jobs. My background is primarily theater arts. I have an MFA in acting directing from the University of Minnesota, so my stuff tends to be a little punchy. So they're constantly pulling the reins on me, but even though I have a pretty basic cuts-only system here, it's still enough for me to be able to give them a quality product that is hard-hitting and helps sell the product and helps maintain. Excuse me, will you please? Hello, this is Twig. Thanks. Bye. It's my agent. You know, the toaster is just a piece of the pie. You know, I'm not in love with software, and I'm not in love with graphic broadcast quality, you know, switching special effects. But the toaster being a piece of, you know, producing video, it's cost effective, it's quick, it was fairly easy to learn even for me, and it has pretty much everything I need. And the magazines, I read all the articles, which are very helpful, and I also do a lot of advertising in there for products that help enhance toasters and desktop video, and so that's all very interesting. But I will be attending user groups. I think that would be very helpful, and I imagine that's what this video is all about, is to help us communicate, help us to, you know, kind of connect, interconnectivity. That's what video is all about, right?
I'm here with Lance Hutchinson from Alpha Video. He's here to demonstrate the personal single-frame controller from Nucleus Electronics. Lance, would you tell us a little bit about single-frame animation?
Sure. Single-frame animation is necessary because most video devices, like the video toaster, cannot play back animation frames real-time. They have to be recorded one at a time to any VCR. The VCRs that you use have to be single-frame accurate so that we can record them with frame accuracy. That's exactly what the personal single-frame controller from Nucleus Electronics was designed to do. When you get your personal single-framer, you get the software, a manual, and a cable. And all that's really necessary to connect your video toaster and your editing deck is this cable. On the back of the video toaster, you plug the 25-pin connector into the serial port, and on the back of your VTR, you plug in this 9-pin connector. The personal single framer will work with any serial controlled VCR that has an internal timecode reader generator. About the only problems that we encounter with this is if you have the new AMI-Link internal card system that connects to the internal serial port, or if you have a TVC or a waveform